Welcome, Halftime Howie here. And sometimes I read things on Facebook which absolutely fascinate me. And reading about the McDonoughs, it fascinated me. And now we're going to hear their extremely riveting story. We have Brianna, her mom Dayann, and Brianna. In a million years, did you ever think you would be caught? You were in Puerto Rico when the hurricane hit. You're a young girl, you're a junior in high school. That had to be the most terrifying experience of your life.
Uh, yes, it was pretty scary. It was pretty scary. Um, and I had been through Category 5 already. I went through Sandy, but it was nothing like this. It was a whole lot worse. Um, and what made it even worse was that the way Puerto Rico is built is that there's not a very good infrastructure, so literally everything on the island is decimated.
Dayann, before the show, there was a point where, when the hurricane was at its fiercest, you and Brianna were in a bathroom, literally praying for your life. Talk about that moment with you and Brianna. How terrifying that must have been.
Well, basically, the storm came. It came early. It was expected on the Wednesday, and it came Tuesday, right before noon. And we were bearing down. We had kind of prepared. We hadn't really expected to be stuck there or for it to be that strong. And the scary part of it is that, from having been through hurricanes, each hurricane has a sound, and we just heard this moan, like this oh, and it just went deep into your bones. It was really upsetting. And then while we were there, we heard everything crashing around outside. And in Puerto Rico, most of the houses don't have glass windows. They have like these metal slats that you crank open and close, and we had literally battened down the hatches. And then we heard the water, and we saw the water coming through the bottom slats of the windows, even though we were on the second floor. And then we saw the door to the room we were in kind of start to move. And I was saying to myself, oh God, the doors and the windows have to stay, because if not, that's it. And finally the door, pow, it was off, gone. And so when we realized the door, it's not holds, didn't hold, me and Brianna went into the bathroom and closed the door. That ended up being the one room, the bathroom that was kind of dry, that didn't get flooded. And of course you can't sleep when all of this is going around, so we just I started praying, and I just didn't stop. We were just there, kind of crouched by the tub, kind of in the corner, just praying, just really begging God to please pass over.
And Brianna, what was it like after the hurricane hit, being on the island, struggling for food, struggling for water, not being able to reach your dad, your brothers? What was that like, those next 2 weeks being stuck in Puerto Rico?
Honestly, it was really scary, but like when you're in that space, all you have to think about is, well, what am I gonna do today to make sure I make it to the next day? And that was basically our entire thought process every day. And then we went to the airport 3 times to try and get a ticket home, and the 3rd time we managed on a fluke to get out of there. But there's people still stuck there, and people who have like homes there that don't have anywhere else to go. And it was scary for me, but I can't even imagine how horrible it is for them right now.
Dayann, did you ever imagine that you'd spend 2 weeks like that in Puerto Rico in such dire conditions?
No, I mean, I know that normally August to October is hurricane season. We didn't know that it was a Category 5 or anything like that until like hours before the storm actually hit. We had been through Sandy. This was worse. And I had gone to Puerto Rico to bury my relatives, my father, my grandmother, in the National Cemetery. And I had brought Brianna along because I wanted her to see Puerto Rico for the first time and see like where my side of the family is from and see all the beautiful things that Puerto Rico has to offer and learn more about her family history and her culture. And it just hurts that her first visit had to be such a tragic, scary visit, and that much of what I wanted to show her is not there anymore.
It's so sad. And Brianna, I know that you must have had a lot of friends and teachers that were worried sick about you. And what was it like when you finally returned home and the reaction you got when people were so worried about you and your mom?
Well, when I first came home, we hadn't told my dad and brothers that we got a ticket to go home, and we surprised them. So it was really nice to come home and see the look on their faces when they were just like, "You're actually here." And then we went to my school, and I surprised one of my really close friends, and all my friend could do was hold me and start and cry. "Oh my God, you're here, you're here." And it, like, I felt really glad to be off the island and back home, but it made me feel even better coming back somewhere and like seeing that there were people who actually really worried and actually really cared about me and all that support. And I went and surprised one of my English teachers from last year too on the same day, and she had to teach a class, but all she could do was hug me, and she was so happy that I was back and stuff, and it just made me feel really good that I got to see everybody and that I was there actually.
That's great. And I want to thank Dayann and Brianna for sharing your story. Very emotional. You know, I know a lot of people went through Sandy, but you know, Puerto Rico, what people are going through. People, they say it's going to be months. People without power. People are struggling to get food. People are struggling to get water. It's still a horribly tragic time. I just read today that the death toll has risen to almost 50 people. So thank God that you made it out of there. And hopefully next time you visit Brianna, Puerto Rico, you'll see the beautiful Puerto Rico that they will rebuild in time, and that maybe a year, 2 years down the road, when you go back to Puerto Rico, it'll be a much nicer visit.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Folks, we want to thank Dayann and Brianna McDonough for sharing their very emotional and riveting story about their time in Puerto Rico at the heart of Hurricane Maria. Okay, thank you.